Hi everyone and welcome. I have a really quick energy update that for those of you that have been with me, I posted a video saying that I probably wouldn't be posting one for several weeks because they told me that was the energy that was going to be around for a while, if not a few months. But because this full moon that's coming up is such a huge deal. I don't know why this full moon, but there's something about this one. I'm guessing with them, with the divine team, is pressing me to say. So before I get started with that, I'm just gonna do a little quick update about me. I did take my certification exam and I did pass. So thank you all for your prayers and kind words of encouragement. I really appreciate that. Very, very grateful for all of that. So thank you for that. And now I'm going on to the next step in the process with my business. So, it doesn't stop when you're trying to do a business. That's just how it is. But I'm grateful for the journey. It's just part of it. So that's that little tidbit. Now, on to the message. This full moon that's coming up. Huge release. This is for divine feminine and divine masculine. They want me to say that, okay, you know how we all grow up. We go to school. We are, society has put this whole structure and, around, the stages of school and education and all of that. Well, they're saying that we need to, this is a different perspective of looking at dissecting yourself. Because they're showing me a microscope. There are some of you that are still not going within enough. And they're saying, especially when you're triggered with anxiety, anxiety that comes from loneliness, anxiety that comes from financial issues, anxiety that comes from career changes, life changes, a lot of different circumstances, family issues going on. Yeah, so instead of going within and addressing where that's coming from, when you feel that trigger in you that makes you sad or depressed or whatever it is that you're feeling, whatever pain that you're feeling, instead of like addressing it head on and really sitting down and trying to figure out where is that coming from? What is making me feel like that? What did I experience with my parents or with I'm hearing some of you all didn't have your parents in your life, maybe a grandparent or some extended family, step parents. I'm hearing for whoever that message is for, whoever it is that was in your life. Some of them weren't so good, I'm hearing, and some were, but really sitting down and when they say dissecting yourself, it's like they want to say that this is the ultimate class in your life that you should be taking, and that's the one about yourself. It's the most important, precious one of them all. It's the cum laude, valedictorian. It's all of that in one. It is about you, your soul, you. And it's almost like you got to treat it like a class. Like I said, they're just giving me this perspective to make it, I guess, a little easier for you all to address it. For instance, with this full moon that's coming, and you all don't have to, they're saying it doesn't have to all be done on the full moon day. I think that's a big symbolism around that, to do it on that day. But the full moon energy does linger, I think, for 2-3 days until it starts to reverse to a new moon as it gets smaller. So that releasing energy is still around. But, even if you do it over a few days and you say, okay, tonight I'm going to meditate. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do a letter to my mom and a letter to my dad. Or I'm going to do a letter to, they're having me say this, and I'm going to say it, my abuser. I'm hearing past relationships, abusive, verbal, physical. Because they're saying that they're helping a lot of the collective heal behind the scenes. So you all are getting physical signs of that. I know I've had my sacral and root chakra, mostly sacral. And that's a huge one going around, I think, for the collective feminine. I've been getting a sensation of cramping, mild cramping every night. And I've been told intuitively that they're trying to clear some blocks there for me. So there's some things that they are doing. If you pray for them to do that, they're going to do that. I'm hearing past life stuff that they're doing that they may not need to involve you, is what they're saying, on a conscious level. And then they're saying some things they are involving people on a conscious level with, because you're having dreams about it, bits and pieces of it. So that's for whoever's experiencing that. So they are helping. If you've asked them, they're helping. If you're praying for help and guidance, they're going to give you guys that. Pray for them to help remove blocks that's keeping you from furthering your ascension and your soul growth. Another message, this message is for the divine feminine specifically. They're saying there's a lot of inquiring and waiting. Inquiring and waiting. Like this back and forth. Inquiring with several different readers or psychics about what your twin or counterpart is up to. And I know that's difficult because, we've all been there. But like I've said before, you have to reach this stage. Don't beat yourself up about not being at this stage. But when you reach the stage of truly surrendering, you're not going to reach out to any reader. And you're not going to inquire about anything with your twin. You're just not. Because you're at a point where you're like, you surrender that to the divine team, to God. And you have to have trust and faith that they will see that through. Because what you're doing, they're showing a question mark. So they're saying confusion is a conflicting energy when you pray to them with help and guidance to do something, but then energetically you inquire about it, and then your thoughts may shift and you start to create in your mind. For example, let's say you talk to a reader and they say this fall, October, second week, or I don't know if they get that specific, which I've told you guys to be cautious about that kind of stuff because the divine timing is divine timing. I mean, it's just the way it is. That you start to build expectations and anxieties and all types of things around that time frame. And then when things shift or possibly could shift, then, there's disappointment. And they're telling me sometimes the shifts are intentional and not intentional. Because if you're not in a state of doing your healing and you're just in a state of, okay, now I know it's going to happen this day and all I got to do is anticipate it and, keep checking in and giving that energy where all is well and that you don't have to do any healing and work on yourself and do things for yourself, and you're putting your happiness into the expected union date. That's not it. That's not it. And I'm not trying to be the Debbie Downer here. I'm just saying that from an energetic standpoint, when you totally surrender and you pray to them, you have to surrender and let them handle that. You cannot manipulate this faster. You're just not gonna be able to do that, You're just not. And when you really sit down and think about it, it truly does make sense. You want to be able to be fulfilled and create your happiness. And of course, you should want that for your twin as well, for your counterpart as well. And then when you all come together in that respect, in that regard, it's mind-blowing when it happens that way. But if you do it and you haven't healed things, we all have been in relationships where things weren't healed. I have been with people that have had baggage, and I too have had baggage and been in relationships. And I look back now, and it's things that I did that I know was coming from a place of hurt, a place of pain that I needed to shed and get rid of. So with a twin flame experience, because there's duties and missions that we have to fulfill energetically, we just can't do that. It's just too much at stake, and it's energetically, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't be fulfilling for you or your twin. You want something that's fulfilling. God and the divine team know what you want. They know what you deserve, and you just have to do the work. And when you reach that point, I'll give you an example of how you know that you are doing the healing and that it's working. There are situations and things that I can think about now, whether it be my twin for karmic, or and I don't know if he is or not with anyone at this point, but just saying in hindsight, in the past, certain things with my mom and my father when he was alive. My father was a very absentee father. So there are thoughts and memories that I have now that come up. Doesn't bother me. I've forgiven it. I've released it. Early on in my journey, totally different story. I would be triggered. I would feel uncomfortable. I would get this feeling jumping through my chakras from my stomach to my chest of anxiety, like queasy, kind of crying, and that was all the hurt and stuff that they're saying needs to be released. As you know that you've healed that stuff, you're going to think back on things like that and you guys know what your triggers are. You're going to think about them, and it's not going to bother you as much. You're going to get a different feeling, a feeling of, well, you know what? It doesn't bother me as much, and it's okay. So my prayer is that you all can reach that state, or at least reach it and come closer to it. And, with this full moon energy that's coming up, take advantage of that. They say letters are great. The burning of the letters under the moonlight, the Epsom salt baths, prayer aloud, praying aloud about certain things. Some people do music therapy where they play certain songs that make them release and trigger and cry and do whatever they need to do to purge. But like I said, when you do those kind of healing rituals, you gotta have something planned where you come back up out of it. Plan something. I don't care if it's a walk or a coffee with a friend or going to see a comedy, whatever. It's no different from a math test or algebra test. Consider it a test for your soul. Like I said, you're the biggest, most precious project in this lifetime. It's you. So why wouldn't you fulfill it? Why wouldn't you carry it out? It's the best degree ever, So, that's the message they wanted me to deliver. And I hope it resonates with you guys. If you want to reach out to me for an intuitive session, I am quite busy. Turnaround time is about 4 days, but you can email me at tfwingwisdom@aol.com, and I will get back with you within that time, and I will give you the details about that. So take care, you all. Lots of blessings, love, and light.